Hey Royal Family, thank you for choosing the front row with myself, Roanna Moodley. And today is like no other. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed by now, then do hit that subscribe button, click on the notification button as well so you can get notified whenever I put videos up. I usually post between Mondays and Thursdays. Sometimes it goes a bit off, but I'm trying to keep on that momentum. And I put my videos up at 4 p.m. South African time. I try to, again. So if you're vibing and you want to be a part of a circle that empowers each other, is all about all things lovely and beautiful and warm and fuzzy, etc., then keep on watching. Being alone or finding alone time is so important. There was a phase in my life where I had a zero alone time. I would just be going into work, coming home, being immersed in family, immersed in the work environment, and just not having time to just take a breather and take some time to myself, even if it was for 5 minutes. And I found myself to be a very miserable person. So I consciously decided to change that vibe and just be a little bit selfish in that sense, where I committed to 5 minutes a day to myself. And just by doing that small change made such a big difference. And now I tend to try and spend more time with myself so that I can find some kind of center. So because I found that this is so beneficial and so helpful to me, you know how I do. I want to share that with you, and I hope that that can help you. Finding some alone time can really help you to reset and to calm the F down, because life is incredibly crazy. And with us coming out of 2020, with the pandemic starting, and us going into 2021, with us not really knowing where we're going, the vaccines being distributed globally, but we really don't know whether it's going to really change our lives or if it is just going to be pretty much the same, or we just have so many questions. And in South Africa, we've got the COVID-19 variant, so we have been a little depressed because we're now still on level 3 lockdown. But be that as it may, we're trying to look into the light or find the light in this time of extreme stress. So going through all this stress, we do need some time to reset. And so when you are alone, it does help you to do just that, so that you can give the best of yourself to your loved ones, to your work environment, and to just people who are around your space. I think it also plays to vibrational energies. If you try and work on your vibrational energy, then it can be received well. Sometimes we are in spaces that are filled with negativity, and it can eat into your positivity and make you feel drained. And that's how life is sometimes. But when you take some time to just sit by yourself, chill out for a bit, it sort of helps you with the neutralization. And if you're wondering what the hell is going on in my background, well, that's my little one going crazy with all his toys. But if you're a mom, then you can relate, and let's just all understand the situation right here. And being alone also helps with your self-awareness, and it helps you just balance yourself. It keeps you zen, it keeps you together, it keeps your chakras together. For me, I do a couple of things that help me, and I find that when I do spend that quality time alone, it makes me feel so much more with the universe and its vibrational energies, and I'm able to take on all the craziness of what life has to offer. The other thing I found with spending some alone time is that I do get pretty creative, and I become far more productive than when I don't take time out to just be by myself and my own thoughts. So when I do invest some time in myself, I get my creative juices flowing, and I try and find ideas of how I'm going to uplift my career, or I find ideas of how I'm going to benefit my family in ways that I never would have thought about had I not spent that time together. In terms of productivity, I'm very big on SOPs and putting in processes in place, whether it's in my personal life or in my work life, and that really helps me to just take the jigsaw puzzle and put it together and just formulate a nice, cool, calm, collected plan, because perfect planning and execution means success sometimes. more often than not. You'd rather be prepared than not prepared. The other thing that has really helped me is my focus. I find that I am much more focused on what people are telling me, especially me being present in the moment, because I've taken time out to just center my thoughts and to balance myself. Then I'm able to focus my energy on the things at hand, and I just am present in that moment. I do have times where I'm thinking about other things while I'm in a moment, and I'm trying my very best to stop doing that. I think I've gotten much better, but it's a work in progress. And I think being alone and making sure that you put in that time to yourself does tremendously help with the focus element. But the most satisfying thing is that you can find happiness. You really truly will find happiness. I find that when I do spend that time with myself, even if it is for just 5 minutes, I tend to be a little bit more happier than if I'm spreading myself too thin and I'm dividing my time on everything around me and I'm not giving myself some time. If you're a mom, you'll know that even when you're in the bathroom, you don't have alone time, so it can get a bit crazy. So I find that just making some moments count for yourself is truly beneficial, and it really gets your emotions going and you feel so much better. The other thing I find is just standing in front of the mirror and smiling to myself and saying things that are nice to myself. That also helps me, and that also is my alone time. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what the hell do you do to be alone? And there's a couple of things that I do that help me, and I really want to share that with you. The first is meditation. Meditation has become such a big part of my life. I don't have time to meditate for a long time, but I do try and do 5 minutes minimum. And then on the weekends, I increase it. Sometimes if I have more time during the week, then I do a 10-minute or a 15-minute. But on the weekends, I try and do a longer time frame. And what I do with my meditations is that I literally sit. I like to do guided meditations because it doesn't feel like I'm sitting for so long. And then it helps me get through the time, especially when I'm very stressed. And sometimes when you're sitting in meditation and you're very stressed, then you start thinking about all your problems. So to avoid the thoughts from lingering, I try to do guided meditations, which does help me to process things better and to forget all the craziness that's around me. And it really, really has been helping me so much so that my soul is feeling happier. I feel more present. I'm breathing with better ease. I'm not having short breath. I just feel holistically I'm just becoming a better person by meditation. I used to do meditation as a child because we learnt it when we were going to ashram, but I think I really didn't understand why I needed to do it, or I didn't understand the benefits of it. I was told I knew the benefits, I knew the subject matter, but I think truly taking it in, I never really did until now. And then I'm so grateful that this is something that I do, and I really would recommend you doing it. If you're not someone that can sit down quietly, then there's different forms of meditation as well. Maybe I'll do a video on that where you can walk and you can, there's other things that you can do, which is other forms of meditation that can help you if you're someone that can't sit still. The famous thing for me, even before I got married, was just to spend some time at home. So I would get home from work, shower, go in the room and spend at least half an hour just with myself and my thoughts, and sometimes even just put the phone off and just be alone in that space. And that is tremendously helpful. What I found is when I got married and then my family expanded, it started getting a little bit more crazy. So I couldn't really come home, shower, and then lock myself in the room for a little while, because that's just impossible for a working mom. What I try to do is a little bit later, maybe go to the room a little bit earlier, or maybe just before I go to bed, I just have a little bit of that alone time in the room. Or on the weekends or a Sunday when everyone's watching TV, I can just sit in the room for 5 minutes or sleep in a little just to take in my thoughts. So even if I wake up on a Sunday, I would linger on in bed just so that I can have some alone time. But I find that lately lately I don't really have too much time to do that, but it is definitely something that I do sporadically, and it is very helpful. The next thing is to take a drive or take a walk by yourself somewhere. I used to often take drives by myself, but obviously now that I'm a family woman, it doesn't seem like it is something that I can do often, but I do like to take walks. And that's so special because when you walk and you look in the sky and you look around you and you're just in your thoughts, it helps you so much to center yourself. Even if it's like a 2-minute walk, if you don't even have more time, or if you live in an area that's not very safe, then you could maybe walk around like the perimeter of your home, or you can go for a drive and just kind of take in the scenic views around you. And doing that really does help for you to find peace and to find some sort of serenity. I think exercising alone has also been a game changer for me. I never really was someone that would like go to the gym regularly. I wanted to always be the person, like I'd have groups of people that I'd go with sometimes, but the problem with that is that there's no like continuousness of it. And then I find that sometimes when I do it by myself, it just makes me feel so much happier because I've invested that time just by myself and my thoughts. So exercising alone is definitely something you can do as well as a form of spending time alone with yourself. And the last one is listening to music. This, of course, is like most people's favorite thing to do. Headphones on, put your favorite jam on, and just relax. I like to put my favorite song on, put a blanket outside, and then just like look into the sky, and it just gives me so much happiness. But more often than not, people don't want to hear the songs that I play, so put on your headphones and just like relax can be so nice. Why don't you comment below and let me know what your favorite song is? I like to listen to Carnatic music a lot, and I also like to listen to like Adele, or because like songs like Adele, like you know, that blues, love, hurt type of songs you can sing along to, and the dancey type of songs you can't really sing along to. So whatever your method is, spending time alone is incredibly beneficial for your mental health and for your inner peace and bliss and happiness. So try your best to take some time for yourself, because as they say, charity begins at home, and if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of the people that matter most. So when you invest in yourself, you can then invest in other people. If your cup is full, it can then runneth over. So when someone says you're full of yourself, that's a compliment, as Oprah says, and I'm very proud to be called full of myself, because then I'm doing the right thing. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for spending time with me on this video, and please do click that subscribe button, because you know how it is. You got to help the front row out and be a part of this community that is just about empowering each other and learning. I like to share my lessons in life and whatever else that comes to my mind with you, and I hope if it does resonate with you that you like it enough to be a part of this journey with me. Until the next video, keep it royal.